Hi guys, welcome back. On to this part of the tutorial we're going to cover up setting up the database. To get the database up and going on your web server, it needs to have 5.5 plus on the PHP and MySQL. This can be on the same server where you're hosting your website. Mine is actually on the same site where I'm hosting mine, so I have my website there and I'm running it all together. You can use some of his references here. I actually am using one.com. You can go up and check the pricing. This is going to be totally up to you. As long as you meet the requirements of the PHP and the MySQL, you can use anything you want, anyone that you're happy with. I'm using this. It's only $2.50 a month. It's a good starter. I feel it's comfortable and it's allowing me to do what I need to do for the testing. You can read over the documentation. We want the PHP because it's for his new encryption methods, and right there it just explains it all. Alright, so now we want to go into, let's get into part of creating the database, and we're going to import the SQL file so we can create our structure. So I'm going to close that out. And I'm here in my control panel. I'm going to blur some of this out because I don't want my information to go public. But when you get on your control panel, or whatever they call it, desktop, usually called control panel, what you're going to do is you're probably going to open a few folders. I'm going to open the file manager. This is going to list all the files that's down in here. As you see, I got my website up here. And then we're going to look for the PHP database. On one.com, it's all listed together. These can be separate, but they're together here. We're going to check the PHP first. So I'm going to, by default, it was set to 7.0 on this one, so I had to reset it to 5.6. I couldn't get it to work with 7, so there's some issues there. So make sure whatever hosting sites you have, you know what version is running. Make sure it's set. And I turned on error messages just so I can have them pop up if I have issues. This is going to be blurred out because it's got information here. But basically what we have behind here is it's going to give you your host name, the name of your database, your username, and your password. I've already created this one here at the bottom. This is going to be for testing this out and showing it for the demo of this video and with our new build. Alright, so we need to get the SQL file uploaded to our database. And we're going to take it, as you can see right now, I've created the database. It's empty. There's no tables inside, so it's just an empty database. So what we'll be looking for is our SQL file. If you go to where you keep your MMO kit, let's go down inside the kit, and usually in the top structure there, you're going to see the DB structure folder. And this is the SQL file that we're going to upload that's going to build our create our tables in the database. What I like to do is open the right folder. I have another place where I'm working to keep all my information for my website. This is totally up to you. And I threw my scripts over here. I keep a local copy here on my system, and it's going to match the other system up there. So essentially, we're going to call the folder MMO, and we're going to move the database structure in here, and then we're going to move all the PHP from the kit. I made a copy of those. We'll keep this one clean in case we ever break this. We can come back to it, and we'll make a copy of all these, and we're going to put it in this folder. Like I said, that's totally something I like to do. You don't have to, but I like to keep it up, keep a location of it. And then essentially what that does is, if we look in our file manager, these are the folders that I have created on my server. And this, most of it's from my website, but here's the MMO folder. And as you can see, this matches what I have locally. So I would edit these, and you would simply open one of these in Notepad++. If you don't have that, I recommend you get it. We'll make any changes, save it locally, and simply upload it here. What this does is it gives me a copy locally in case for some reason the server was to lose it, or I forget to pay the bill and they delete it, whatever. I have a local copy. And then if I want to move it to another server, I already know what I have going on, and I have the changes here. Alright. So now we need to get that SQL file loaded into our database. So let's go to our database. We've got to make sure you choose your database. So in PHP-MyAdmin, go ahead and choose your database. Come on now. click the right button. There we go. So we have our database targeted, and we're going to import that file folder. There we go. Now that it's targeted, no tables inside, we're going to simply import. I'm going to choose the file locally. Alright, remember where we put, I have these here for a structure. Alright, we put it in the design folder. Alright, let me find my scripts. There we go, MMO. And what you would do is you would take your SQL file and simply upload it. Sorry about that. I had to pause and make sure that had nothing changed. These are actually from 4.10, and I have not overwritten them with the 4.11, but the database structure file has stayed the same. So we're going to open that up. It's going to pick it there. You can go with default settings here, and we're going to hit go. You should get a successful finished, and once that's done, you look here on the left, and you see it's there's our users tables, characters tables. They're all empty right now. There's nothing in them, so we're going to have to put some information in. Let's go back to the directions. Now we got to go in the connection script, and we're going to tell how to get to that database we just created. So let's find. Remember, like I said, I'm editing them locally, so we'll go to the connection script, MMO connection, open that up inside of Notepad++, and then right here you're going to put your local host, your username, password, and database. Now you'll find that up on wherever you're hosting your website. For one.com is right here, but there's a place they're going to tell you. Make sure you use the correct host name, your database name, your username, and password. Once that's done, you'll want to save this off. So I'm just going to reduce that. Now once you've done that, we're going to upload the contents of the PH folder to the web server. So let's look at my, remember this is where I'm keeping a local copy I'm going to duplicate. So we're going to upload all those. You could use FileZilla. I just simply used upload up here. You would just simply hit the button. See there, it points right to the folder. Click the first one, then shift, click the last one, and you could just hit open, and it would upload them all. And then once that'll put all our scripts for the MMO up here on the server. Once that's done, we need to check and make sure it's working. So let's go back over here, and to do the check, we're going to put this is your website name. Remember, we put it in the MMO folder and my PHP version. So we're going to go over here. We'll go to my website name, which is Soul Binders. Remember, we put it in the MMO folder, MMO, and we don't want the login. We want the version. We're going to check the version first. So my version, and I already have it entered, but you would type that out, hit that, hit return. Now, if it's working, it's going to tell you what version of your PHP. If you don't get this, you didn't turn it on correctly at your hosting site, so you need to go back and double check that, and you should get this showing that what version it is and working. Now we're going to test that the scripts are working that we have uploaded. So let's go to, we're going to do the same thing, your website name, MMO, but this time we're going to type the login. So I'm just going to go back here. I'm going to come back here and type MMO. Of course, mine's still in the folder, and login. And then it should say this right here, login information is incorrect because we haven't put any username or passwords in the database. It's empty. And if you come back here and look, that's what it says. If it says this, you're good to go. If you get a connection failed or access denied, that means you've made a mistake here in the database, host name, username, password. Double check that, make sure your spelling is correct, single quotes, and go over that. Once you get that up and you finally get to where it says login information is correct, then you have successfully set that up. Next, we're going to go into the blueprint folder inside the project. So let's find that. I think I got it right here. Nope. Alright, so I'm going to go over to my project build. Remember, we just built this one. And then I would double click this, and it's going to launch our project, our base build project. I already got it open, so I'm going to. Alright. And of course, we got all that stuff blinking. And then this always confuses me, so I'm going to tear that loose. We're going to put it over on the left side, and I'm going to open this. This is just a preference of mine. And let's reduce down here the folder size just a little. There we go. This feels like I have more room to work with. Alright, now let's go back to the directions. We're going to go down inside the MMO Blueprints game modes. We're going to set the host name of what we just posted. So let's go ahead and grab that while we're here. Remember, we're going to set our host name. This will be the name of your website. So I'm going to highlight that and copy it. Let's go down in here. So we're going to go to MMO, open this up, Blueprints. Go down in the Games Mode folder. I think I scrolled past it. Yep, there it is. And we're going to go down in MMO Instance. Let's open that up. Double click it. It's going to open that right up. And as you can see with the new folder, it's showing it. Alright, here's your host name. Control V. And actually we forgot to put the MMO. There we go. Now that needs to point to the folder where we uploaded all your PHP scripts. Yours may have a different folder name where it's located, so that's what would change there. But it would be your website and that folder where you put it. Okay? We're going to save it. You're just going to want to compile it and save again. Alright, let's go back up and look. Alright, next part we'll begin into is we're going to launch it for the first time. Now that we have all that set up, I'm going to wrap the video up here, and then we'll move this part into the next video. Alright, we'll see you then.